Welcome to the journey of 1,000 mistakes. This week was really fun. Why? Simply because I did an expectation detox. Now I know that sounds kind of weird and can be confusing, so before we begin, I'd just like to quickly explain what it is and how it works. What it means is every single day for 5 days last week, I tried to remove all the expectations from my life. So let's say at the start of the day, I plan the day, I want to accomplish things. And normally, by the time I get to the end of the day, if I didn't do everything I planned, I feel disappointed because I expected a certain result, and because I didn't get it, I was disappointed. So that was the whole point of this challenge, just to try to remove that as much as possible. That doesn't mean not plan anything and be unproductive, even though, truth be told, I did kind of do that the entire week, but I took it more as a relaxation week. I still did the work I had to do. I was still mostly productive, but I could have been way more productive if I was stricter with my planning of the day. But that's okay. Part of the journey, it's kind of like life. Sometimes you're so focused, you have that energy, that drive, and other times you just don't feel like doing anything. You just want to hang out, chill with friends, go for walks outside, play sports. That's kind of what I did this week. But anyway, back to the challenge. The expectation detox went well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I feel like it made me less stressed, more relaxed. I had more fun during the week. But at the same time, it's really hard to quantify because your expectations are there innately inside you, so you don't really notice them half the time. When I did notice them, I tried to get rid of them. And you know what? Just to make this clear, I'll give you an example. I've been looking for an apartment because I'm going to move in a month, and I still haven't found a place. So I went to visit a few places last week. I found a place I really liked, so I applied, and I was really hoping I'd get it, but the application was rejected. So there was a certain degree of expectation there, but at the same time, by doing this detox, I was like, okay, you know what? I did expect this. It didn't go as I wanted to. It's okay. Moving on, don't stress about it. In the end, I just asked my dad to be my guarantor, so I'm probably going to get it anyway. We'll see. But just the fact of doing this, I'm more conscious of, you know what? There's no point in stressing about things that are useless. So overall, I'm happy I did it, even though it's kind of hard to tell if I succeeded, if I failed. But I'm really glad I tried it. Next week, though, I'm going to try to do something a little more concrete. In fact, it's kind of in line with this, because this morning, before I filmed everything, I started doing what they call the Wim Hof method, which is a breathing exercise. And it just allows you to go in a state of hypoxia, I think it's called. Don't quote me on that. And then you just hold your breath for as long as you can. And it's the third time I did it. The first time I did 2 minutes, which was amazing because in the past I struggled just to get to a minute. The second time I tried it, I don't know, I just wasn't in it. I got 1 minute and 30 seconds at the end. I was dying. But today I'm like, you know what? I feel in the mood. I want to try this again. So I did. I did 3 rounds. First round I did 2.5 minutes. Second round, 3.5 minutes, and third round, another 3.5 minutes. And to me, that's insane because in the past, the max I ever did was 1 minute. And just this, I'm like, oh my God, it shows you how much further you can push yourself beyond those limits you thought. Okay, sure, I'm nowhere near the 22-minute world record, but that's not the point. It's just to test myself, see how far I can go. So that's my challenge next week. Every day I'm going to use that app because it's an application. And just do it at one point of the day, probably in the morning, I'm not 100% sure. And just do, let's say, 3 rounds just to see how much I can hold my breath. I don't really have a goal because I don't know what to expect. A couple weeks ago, I thought my max was 1 minute. Turns out now I'm in 3.5 minutes. Will I get to 5 minutes? Will I be stuck at 3.5? Will I go down? I have no idea. But I really want to try this out because I feel like it's going to make such a big mindset difference. Because yes, okay, holding your breath is cool, but what does it really give you in the end? You can be better at swimming, stuff like that, yes, but it's not really an everyday issue. Like it doesn't affect your everyday life. But I feel that just shifting my mindset like that, proving to myself that my limits are self-imposed and pushing beyond that, I really feel it's going to make a big difference. So I'm looking forward to doing that. If you want to test it out, just Google Wim Hof method app. I'm sure it's super easy to find. Download it. Anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail about that because it's next week's challenge. But Yeah, overall, this week was a good week, as I described before. Kind of hard to quantify, but I felt happy. I wasn't as productive as I could have been, but I really enjoyed the moment, spending time with friends, going, going for walks, doing sports, just enjoying life. And especially nowadays, more and more, I'm like less focused on being super high productive and more focused on enjoying my life, doing small tweaks to just improve it, make me happier. So we'll see where this goes. It's all about, the journey of 1,000 mistakes. So making mistakes, learning from it, testing new things, pushing the limits like next week. So we'll see. I'm really enjoying this. I'm happy with the direction this is taking. Whereas before I felt like I was pushing myself too much, doing things that wouldn't really bring me value. So I'm really happy I redirected that. Really happy to be doing these videos. It feels like for a period of a couple months, I was just not really down or depressed or anything, just like in a weird kind of funk. And now I'm finally feeling, you know what? I'm starting to come out of it. It's nice outside. I'm doing activities. I'm about to move in my own place. It's just like everything's going really well. I'm excited. I hope things are going well for you too. And once again, thanks for being here. Don't be afraid to go make mistakes. And as always, just try to enjoy life. All right. See you next week.